Hey, it's Andre, and you're looking at a 1/5 scale Waco YMF-3. Very close to the 5. The 5 is a 2-seater, the 3 is the single-seater. 72-inch wingspan, 50-inch plus fuselage, and it's balsa. And I picked this up recently last week, and I'm excited. I'm going electric. It was a fuel aircraft or a nitro. I had a 150 motor in it, and I'm going to get the wing out of the way right away because I want to show you the fuselage. So wings are going to get recovered. The fuselage you see and you saw on the little clips before, the fuselage is going to get recovered and everything. I'm going from a fabric to a ultra coat, so it's going to be more plasticky, but I think it's going to look a little more shiny. This is the covering that was used, and obviously it's a biplane, so it's got the 2 wings, 72-inch, and I discovered very quickly that the 1/5 scale aircraft is as big as I'm going to fit in the car. So but it was a really nice deal, and it's something over the winter. It's like minus 20 something right now. We were out for a walk, hence the cap because my hair is a mess. But look at this thing. As you saw in the photos, it looks gorgeous. I took the cover off, not that I wanted to, but I wanted to check, and there was advice from Stuart, who's back on social media and doing a lot of retro aircraft, and it was just the timing was really good for us to start engaging on stuff like this. And I took the cover off because I wanted to see how the aircraft looked. Minor issues mainly towards the back. And here, I'll pick this thing up, and you can see it's looking really good. Now, this was a nitro-fueled aircraft, and it came fully complete. It just needs a very sympathetic restoration. So I'm going to go in and going to fix some small issues. I'm going to put a motor on it. So I've got the Turnigy SK3 5055 430 kV, so that will spin a anywhere from a 16x8 to 17x8. I worked on the e-calc and we'll play around with it, and that'll sit off the front end of it. I've got the Castle 90, everything out of the Spitfire, the 3D Spitfire plane. I'm not going to worry about. I guess really the genesis was I was looking at the Hangar 9 Cub, the 1/5 scale Cub, and felt I was replicating experiences I already had. And this thing just sort of happened. It's a Pika model, from what I'm told. It's got to be at least 20 years old. The previous owner had it for 12. The other guy before him had it for 5 to 7. And like I said, it looks really good. Now, I will be going electric, as I said. So the first thing I've got to do is I was looking at just doing a hatch here, but as I examine this, and this is one of the better reasons to take the material off, I think I can get away with taking off more of the top, and this stuff isn't really super structural important to the overall stability of the aircraft, because most of the load is through the bottom and everything. If I go in and do some quick little mods, I think I can cut very cleanly. And Josh Orchard gave me all kinds of nice tips on how to work with balsa and cutting balsa, stuff I've never done. So this is almost rejuvenating my RC experience and just getting into some different types of material. I've been with the foam aircraft for a good many years and foam board from flight tests, and I haven't touched balsa since I built my LT40 way back, and that was just not enough of an experience. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to restore this thing. Like I said, the power should be really nice. I'm going to make it into an electric aircraft. Jeremy, my other buddy, who's a machinist, is going to make me a new front end for the to support the motor and allow me to tune in the dial A, the thrust angles. I'll probably 3D print a new radio cowl, fake simulated radio, and the cowl is in good shape. I may do a little bit of fiberglass repair onto it because it's got some nicks and cracks on it, but overall it's in really good shape. And as I went through, as you saw in the photos, I was observing how everything came off. Now this is a fabric based, like I've said, I've gone with the ultra coat, so it will be shinier. There's nothing wrong with the fabric base. I'm trying to get the aircraft lighter because of the power system. I think I'm going to be close on spec. If I find I'm not getting the performance I want, just to be safe with it, because it will be a 6S aircraft, I will jump it down. I'll bump the power up. I'll get a 320. It's still the same size motor, just a little bit more oomph, which is what this airplane. This thing is not going to be a 3D thing. I've got the Mamba for that. So like I said, if I can chop that piece off there nicely and pop that out, put some magnets, there's tons of examples of websites and forums. This kit has been around, like I said, for a long time, and whoever built it did a really nice job. So I'm just going to go in and check all the ribs, hit it with some CA glue or whatever, and just start locking everything back down. And then I will start covering it. A few pieces I will try and reproduce are things like the little detail trims there. If not, I'll take them off really carefully and apply some paint. So it's going to get a cosmetic run over very slowly, very, over time. But like I said, I'll get the trim down and everything. It's ironically enough, it's these full-size standard servos that are killing me. They are expensive suckers. On average, anywhere from $40 to $50 and up, depending on what you want. I'm not going to go for the high voltage setup. I don't think this aircraft needs it, but I will be putting, the advice I received was to put a lot of power towards the tail. The ailerons can be standard Metal Gear digitals, and put out enough power to control it, because the bottom wing has the ailerons that's on the other side of the suite. And then there's the wings you see in the photos. The two ailerons control are linked, so I have to fix one or two of the broken tabs on that. Like I said, this airplane hasn't flown in a long time, but when it did, I was told it was really nice. So server-wise into the back, I'm going to put more powerful tall ones. Might require some modifications inside here. Let's see. There you go. Just a quick example, but if I can get that top off, if I can clear back this entire section, it'll look really good. Interesting fact, Charlie Golf Zulu Papa Ray, Romeo, sorry, Ray, who the heck's Ray? Romeo is a legit Waco, I'm not sure exactly how you say that, but anyhow, it's a legit airplane out of St. Catharines, Ontario. It's the 5, so the 2-seater, so what I'll do is probably just get a piece of black vinyl and stick it over. So that's a yellow on black themed aircraft, which I think I'm going to mimic. The hardest part of this whole thing actually will be getting a color match to the Ultra Coat bright yellow. But if I can get something close, then I'll be able to repaint the wheel skirts. And once I do up the cowl, we may even try and make a vacuum press version of this cowl. Once I do some repairs and make a lighter weight version of it. The fiberglass isn't a huge amount of weight, but the more weight I can take off the aircraft, the better it'll fly on the power system I have. So investment wise, I'm going to keep a track on that one, because I have the power system, I have the receivers. I may have to buy a few props. So really my investment into it is outside of the initial purchase of the aircraft, which was a really smoking sweet deal. And that's why it kind of just happened, is the covering and those 4 servos. So that will be a couple bucks, but like when I sat back and I looked at everything that I wanted, that Cub was on sale, the Hangar 9 Cub was on sale, but I was replicating stuff I already had, and I actually had a nice little chat with Ali, who's the designer over at Hangar 9, and he said gas on that airplane, or a nitro engine on that plane, is nice, but electric is still performing better because it's a little bit lighter on the aircraft. You're not cutting into that cowl and everything. So I'm like, okay. So I'm not really reproducing it. Yes, I'm getting a balsa aircraft, but it's not a new experience over, say, something like the Grand Tundra or the Carbon Z Cub. So I said, okay. And this one just happened. It was very by chance. So I'm going to learn some new techniques. I'm going to learn some new experiences. I'll fix the aircraft up, and I guess by spring, and I've got all winter to do this thing and get this back up and running. The cosmetics and like the trim stuff and everything, that can all come over time. But if I can get the base of the aircraft back up and running, which I think I can in relatively good time, it will be ready for spring, and I'll fly this out at the Flying Club. This is definitely not a park flyer based on the weight. Stockish, with all the covering and everything, 12 to 14 pounds, maybe 15 pounds. So the more weight I can get it down to, the better off it will be. And I'll go with my bigger 6S packs to maximize my flying time with it and everything. So I'm excited. This is probably the first project in a while that's really made me go, ooh, and I'm going to learn some new stuff, and I'm going to progress with it. So that'll kind of be my influence for the next little while. And I kind of decided I needed to commit, and I think I said this in my last podcast, or no, last video, I needed to find that one project that would tie me down for 2020. And I and this is cool. I mean, a biplane. I love biplanes. I don't get to fly them nearly enough, but here's my excuse to fly something. The Mamba 10 really showed me I enjoyed flying the biplanes. I got to get out those 3 other ones I have sitting over there, and now I've got this. So, yeah. It'll be stage by stage. This will not be an overnight restoration. It will not be an overnight project. I have to push out all the purchases. Like I said, there's $200 plus in servos that are about to come out for this airplane, plus the cost of the covering. I ordered the 10 meter or 32 foot, the big roll of this stuff, because the 2 meters or 78 inch rolls aren't quite enough for the wing. They're 72 inches, but you don't have any lateral space. And then this is the top wing, and like I said, the connections are there. One is already broken off, so I'll be replacing all 4, so they're all universal together. This is more of a vinyl cover, and I want to go through all the wings and check it. And you can see on the top, it's due for replacement. So it'll look nice and shiny. And the bottom wing is, apparently I was told, this is the flaw in that design is the bottom wing takes all the flex, so I want to do some reinforcement through the center section, maybe drop in a carbon fiber spar and reinforce that. But like I said, 72 inch wingspan on an aircraft like this, and this 50 inch, this thing barely fits in the back of my car as it is. So how could I go wrong? How could I not want to try this? Eventually I will go to a nitro plane. Eventually I will get either a nitro or gas. I do want to try that, but I'm just really leery of something like that in the car for a half an hour while I have to get out to the flying field and everything. So there we go. Not too much going on. It is we went for a hike and it was like minus 20 something. It was really cold heading into the headwind. But otherwise, eventually the winter will level out a little bit. We're going to get more snow tonight. So So here we go. This is my project for the next little while. Sorry I didn't roll the camera when I was stripping the stuff off. I honestly forgot. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just started pulling stuff. But you'll see from the photo montage, I was very strategic and I was figuring out, okay, how did they lay it down? And it's like top layer goes down, bottom layer goes onto it, and then it's the sides. And I will have to be observant on these areas. You can see that there's material here, so obviously they put it down and then they loaded down these wood pieces. And these are wood over top of some really stiff pieces of metal which hold the top wing. That wood is broken, but that is very fixable. I get in there with some Gorilla Glue and some tape, lock it down, and then I can sand it back and just clean up all this stuff. And like I said, the hardest part of this entire project, I'm thinking, and it sounds so silly, will be color matching that yellow. And if I can't find a color match, well then I'll do something unique and maybe paint some of the trim pieces that I can't color match black, more of a bumblebee thing. But it is my airplane. I like the blue, I really do like the blue. But if I can get matching vinyl done in black for all the decals and everything, then it's like, why stress over color matching when just go with a color. But again, a yellow biplane. What else could I ask for? I'm Andre. Thanks for all the new subscribers in the last couple of weeks. Stay tuned. Obviously, the themes are going to be going on. Working on getting a podcast out with Ben Harbor out of the West Coast. We're just dealing with some timing and family times and all this stuff. But we will get another RC After Hours podcast. Again, thanks for everybody for all the kind comments and everything. I'm super pumped about 2020, and I think this aircraft is taking me in a direction that I was not expecting, but I'm super happy to be able to do it. So I'm Andre. Have a fantastic weekend.